So the energy used in heating your water can be up to 25% of the energy used in a house. There's lots of things to consider, but let's look at a few different systems. This one here is an instantaneous gas hot water system. The great thing about this kind of system is that it heats water as it goes through the system, so you're not keeping water hot all the time, you only heat it when you need hot water. Also, being a gas system, gas is a pretty good way of heating water. If we look at the side, we can see that it's got 5 energy stars, and it's always worth checking the energy efficiency of appliances you're going to use. This system's particularly good if you're going to have a relatively small household, or you're going to use a relatively small amount of hot water. If you have a really big family, it might be looking at a different system, and we'll do that in a minute. One option is using a solar hot water system. If you think about how much sun we have in Perth, it's actually a really good option because you can save using energy most of the year with a solar system. With this system here, it's an evacuated tube system, and it's even more efficient than a standard solar system. Because it uses a series of round tubes, the sun's always at the perfect angle to penetrate the tubes and heat the water. Of course, with any solar system, there might be times when you need to use a booster, and that's something that you need to consider. So we talked about a solar system, which is a storage system. The other kinds of storage are electric or gas. This is a gas system. Now, the downside of having a storage system run by gas or electricity is that it keeps that water hot all the time, even if you're not using it, and it'll be quite a lot of water, so it wastes a lot of energy. However, there are a few things you can do. You can make sure that it's only as hot as it needs to be, and you can also put some lagging. So let's first have a look at the temperature controller. If we come down here, you can see that it's on 7, which would be 70, which is pretty hot. So we're going to turn it down to 60, and that means that it'll just save quite a lot of energy. There's no point having to heat it any hotter than we need to. The other thing we can do is put some pipe lagging on. So once the hot water leaves the tank, because the tank's insulated to help keep the heat in, but once it leaves the tank, the water will lose heat quickly in the copper pipes. And what we can do is use this insulator to wrap around the copper pipe, and it'll help reduce the amount of energy that we lose. So we just wrap it on like that, particularly for the first section where the hot water's leaving the tank, and that'll help to reduce the energy loss through the line. So regarding hot water, we've looked at a few different systems. There are some others that you might want to look at, like a heat pump system, but the thing is that hot water systems have a finite life, and it's probably good if you put a bit of research into thinking now about what you're going to use to replace them, so you don't do it in a hurry and make a bad choice. And don't forget that although the upfront cost is quite important, also you need to consider the running costs over the lifespan of the equipment. So sometimes it's worth paying more upfront to save money in the long run.